There are so many fabulous faraway places to see, such as Mexico, Sweden, Hawaii, Japan, and Capri. There's so many exciting...
Welcome back. I'm Michael Ray. You're listening to Thought-Provoking Talk on Dresser After Dark.
Pleasant as home is, it isn't what Rome is, so why stay there when there are so many fabulous faraway places to see? Why should Spain and...
Mark Frobose with us. He's appeared on Dennis Miller Radio, The Leslie Marshall Show, Good Day New York, and so many other shows nationwide. The nationally known multilingual expert is the founder of the best-selling Behind the Wheel language learning audio series from Macmillan Audio, and he's going to be hosting his online Spanish program with Barnes & Noble. Should have probably started this month already, and I think what we need to do is ask him. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey, Michael, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Did the program start already?
Yes, it did. As a matter of fact, we're online right now with Barnes & Noble, and it's at bn.com. And just go to Behind the Wheel, which is the name of the audio language line that I created, Behind the Wheel, Spanish, French, Italian.
Good. Now try this one. Bueno.
Bueno. Perfect. I didn't know you spoke Spanish, Michael.
I don't, but it sounds
good. You did. It was perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. I want to see you online. You know, when I hang up, I'd like to make sure that you log on so we can learn some more Espanol together.
Hey, wait. Try this out for a Jewish kid. Now, aprendido con mis amigos en la escuela en el calle también.
But está bien. You learn with your friends at school
and on the
streets.
In
the street as well.
Yeah, that's what
Hablas perfectamente bien el español, Michael. Estoy impresionadísimo. I'm very impressed.
That's all I can say, though.
Well, that's good enough. That'll get you started. And it's very impressive. Your accent was quite good.
And no, by the way, I think language, and especially today, Mark, with the multicultural programs that are going on right now, and as far as the spread we have, it's not just this country, it's the world at this stage of the game. Learning other languages is almost necessary to be able to survive.
It really is. You know, with the shrinking global market and the world unified by technology in the way it is, we can no longer take for granted the dominance of English. Although English is an extremely important language, the world's most spoken language is Mandarin Chinese, and it's a very other languages are also taking the force. So if you really want to learn how to compete with the competition, it's good to learn the language of the customer.
No, but what I understand, and stop me if I'm wrong here because I'm not a language expert, but English is probably, from what I've heard, one of the hardest languages to learn because of all the different idioms and all the different words that mean the same thing.
You know, it's interesting you would say that, Michael. I do agree to a point, but then, all languages do have idioms. And I guess it depends on what language you're going from and what language you're going to.
Yeah.
For example, in my experience with Mandarin Chinese is interesting. Chinese is a tonal language. So if you say the word chu, that means two. And if you say the word chu, that means eat. So you got a tone will connote meaning. It actually conveys meaning. And it's just fascinating. It's something we don't have in English. A lot of people have trouble with at the outset, but then once you learn it, it's not too bad.
There's almost a little bit of a slur is the wrong word I want to use, but there's a sound. Yeah. When they're speaking, there's that sound in there, and if you listen very closely, it seems that it's dominant through the entire language.
Yes, it is, and there are. So you have two things to think about when you're learning Mandarin. One is Mandarin is not one of my languages, actually, although I do speak a spattering of it. It's not one of the 7 languages that I speak fluently, but yet I do know some. And I will say that Mandarin is, you have to think of two things. You're thinking of the accent, and then simultaneously, you're thinking of the tone. And believe me, Michael, you can say the accent perfectly. I'm accustomed to having people say, "Oh, Mark, that sounded so good. I understood you right away." But when you speak Mandarin, if you don't get the tone right, Michael, they just look at you like, "What?"
Yeah.
They don't get it, all right? So the tone is all important. You've got to get the tone. You've got 4 different tones, and it better be the right one, or they won't capiche. It won't work.
No, but of the languages, for you, it's Spanish, right? French, Italian. Do you speak those?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, because I learned the secret of learning within the same language family. If you learn one language within a similar language family, you're learning 2 or 3 simultaneously.
Now,
that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah, those are the Romance languages, right?
Indeed.
Okay, now,
yes.
and if you listen to them, you hear a lot of closeness. The other thing is with Yiddish and German. By the way, I only know a few words, so if I go too far, I'm dead. Okay. But to say go to sleep in Yiddish, it's geschlafen, and to say go to sleep in German, it's
Schlafen.
geschlafen. Yeah. So the languages are very, very close.
Yes, they are, as a matter of fact. And see, English is actually a Germanic language. Many people don't realize that when we say Anglo-Saxon, we're actually referring to two Germanic tribes that conquered Britain. So the Angles and the Saxons left Germany, conquered England, and then were attacked many years later by William the Conqueror in 1066, who was actually a descendant of a Viking, but they had learned French in the 300 years they'd remained in northern France, which is Normandy, and they brought French into England through that invasion. But the actual grammar of English is quite Germanic in nature. So that's why you say, it is good, das ist gut. That is very good, das ist sehr gut. So we have the same syntax, in other words, same word order, but the lexicon, meaning the names of people, places, and things, many times comes from French, and that direction, that Latin connection we have came through the Norman invasion.
No, but just out of curiosity, if we go all the way back through language, and if you touched on this, where does it all stem from? It seems as that everything stems from one place. And if we go back to language, what is most dominant in all language?
Now that's a fascinating thing that you just asked me. In fact, that is one of the most intelligent questions I've ever heard on a radio interview. You must do some linguistic reading. Linguists are now kind of conferring and agreeing that there was an original master, like a mother tongue.
Yeah.
Because almost every word on the planet for mother begins with M. That's just beyond belief. So they emanated from somewhere. Now, some believe that the mother tongue originated somewhere at the confluence of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, in the Fertile Crescent, which is today modern-day Iraq, right? And so that's where it is believed that the original languages of the world began to be spoken.